Hey everybody, it's Karen Anderson with Aortic. I am actually probably half asleep while I'm doing this. I'm doing it a day late and a half hour later from the time slot. But this is our weekend review, and I have had a whirlwind. What is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday? I don't know. 5 times 24, real quick, do the math, over 100 hours. Like wild last couple, wild. I don't even know. I have to get my thoughts together. I was just sharing with Josh, just my Friday night. Barely got through that. Okay, you guys, it's just been insane. I think this was the most fun weekend I've had in a very, very long time. And I needed to have it because I'm like facing, my open heart surgery. So I deserved every minute of it, every minute of exhaustion. I barely could walk half the time, but I didn't care because these things had to happen for me this last couple days. I'm going to get into it. But before I get into it, we're going to have you guys click like. And I'm going to ask you to click subscribe. And I'm going to tell you click the bell so that you're notified every time we go live. So you don't miss moments like this when I'm about to lose my mind and share with excitement what's going on. So yeah, a lot's going on. But let's get into this a little bit because when I look at my calendar, like we finally got off of a lot of the medically related information during September Aortic Disease Awareness Month. And we started last week and into yesterday and today to talk a little bit more about mental health, which is great segue because tonight we have a live event with Amy Wagner, who's an LCSWC, talking about mental health. And we started talking about a lot of other just off topic things, but related, if that makes sense. So we're going to talk about those now and talk about some things that are coming up. And then I'm just going to give you some highlights from, like, I don't know, just fantasticness. I mean, probably one of my best Septembers. I've just had so much fun. I don't even know where to begin. All right. So you know where we'll begin? We just begin. We're going to begin with last week. It was, we were talking all about caregivers for Aortic Disease Awareness Month because we can't have a month about this disease where we don't talk about the caregivers in our lives, because this can be everybody from the nursing staff that take care of us, right, in the hospital, transport when there's an emergency, and obviously our loved ones and our family. So this isn't necessarily um, to give this massive kudos, which we do every January 23rd, because caregivers make caregiving look as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's kind of why we came up with that date, because we knew we would be able to remember it. Because as you know, a lot of people in this community, we have some issues with our memory. So wait until January 23rd when we talk about the caregivers. But if you take a look at this graphic here, I mean, it talks about how it's really important for caregivers to look at their own self-care. So important when they're taking care of us, and they need to maybe get some counseling, or do they need support networks, or spending some time alone, or just taking a little bit of respite care, right? Some quiet time and taking a step back and just focus on putting themselves first. And all of that is okay and needs to happen. That day and every day. We're always looking to take moments to express our heartfelt gratitude to the caregivers who just selflessly support us and all of our loved ones affected by aortic disease, because we can be a handful. Yes, I can be a handful. So if I can, I know a lot of others can be too. As Rosalind Carter so eloquently put it, there's 4 kinds of people in this world, and those who have been caregivers, those who currently are caregivers, those who will be caregivers, and those who will need caregivers, right? That's like such an honest, accurate quote. So all the caregivers out there, we see you, we appreciate you, and we're also here for you as well. Your dedication, your compassion, and your love really make a difference in the lives of those that are navigating the challenges that come with aortic disease. But we also know that caregiving can be very overwhelming at times. And so that's why it's really essential to remember you cannot pour from an empty cup. Neither can we, but you, caregivers, cannot pour from an empty cup. So try to remember, when you have to take care of your loved ones, to take time for yourself, care for yourself. And here's a few reminders. Let's talk about this. And don't feel guilty for taking time for yourself. Um, Prioritize self-care activities that really bring you joy, right? So if you need to take an hour out of the day because you want to get your nails done, or you just want to fiddle with a car, or take a dog for a walk, do what makes you happy. It's important that you do that. We're going to be okay. We're probably napping. So go take care of what you need to take care of. Ask for help if you need it. There's nothing wrong in calling the physician, in talking to other friends and other potential caregivers, and ask for the help, okay? Because you don't have to do this alone. Take breaks and practice your own self compassion. That's really, really important. And stay connected with friends and family and also some support groups. I know over here at Aortic Hope, we have a caregiver only support group meeting. And if you go to our events page, which we will later, at the top, there is a direct link where you can register once. We offer three caregiver support group meetings a month just for you guys, because your needs are a lot different than ours. But you're also welcome to join our other general support group meetings, and they too happen 3 times a month. So that's 6 opportunities for caregivers to meet other people and to receive support. So let's take a moment, right? And let's recognize and celebrate you, our caregivers. And if you ever want to just share your story, we'd love to have you as part of our Survivor Series, because you're surviving this along with us, right? Um, we asked people on Facebook to put a message of appreciation down for a caregiver in their life. And we just wanted everybody to kind of come together to support those that are impacted by aortic disease. And you guys came through. You'll always come through. That was our Monday. Who's out there today? Nobody's been up as early as I was up today.
Well,
Who's out
it
there,
is an
Josh?
off day, and we have a
It
quiet
is, I
chat.
know.
Let's soldier on.
Okay, we're soldiering. That's because I flooded them today with lots of things to look at. They're probably still reading posts. I flooded. All right. So this is a lot of why aortic hope weeks. And one of the things we just mentioned was our support group meetings. So if you're new to finding out about aortic hope, which I met a lot of newbies over this last weekend. So we have monthly support group meetings, and we have caregivers only, which we talked about. That happens the first Saturday of every month at 10 a.m., the second Wednesday at 10 p.m., and the third Monday at 8 p.m. These are all Eastern Standard Times. We have survivors and caregivers. They meet on the first Tuesday at noon. They also meet on the second Tuesday at 10 and the last Wednesday of every month at 7 p.m. Then there are support group meetings for our Canadian friends. They're the first Wednesday at 7 p.m., and we anticipate having one in French very soon. Date when that launches TBD. We also have a bereavement. That's every other month. And I think we just did one in September. So I think our next one is November. And that is every other month, the second Tuesday of the month at 7 p.m. So the key here is, okay, for at least me, when I joined this community, when I joined the community of aortic disease, which I didn't know it was anything like that. I thought it was just people had dissection. I didn't realize anything. This is 11 years ago, 12, 13 years ago, what have you, something in there. Um, I didn't even give it any thought of how this impacts more than just your body, because it really does touch every part of your life. So whether you're a survivor or a caregiver, or someone you know is grieving the loss of a loved one, having a support group to help you through it is paramount. And there just weren't any. There really were not any. I dissected in 2015 and I couldn't find any. There were no brick and mortar. There was no place I could go. There was, definitely nothing online. That wasn't like big then. So we just kind of decided here at Aortic Hope to start one because we needed the support. So that's how a lot of things happen here with us. It's kind of like a selfishness turned selflessness. We come up with the things that we know we need. And since we're also you, we figure you're going to need it as well. I have something that has flown into my eye. So bear with me as I keep trying to pull it out. Um, so, aortic hope is here for you. And we see you. We know what your needs are. Again, like I mentioned, because we are you. So we offer a variety. I'm going to get this out one way or another, you guys. It's happening. So we offer a variety of support group meetings, which I've mentioned above. And actually, what sets these meetings apart from most meetings that I think people are traditionally used to in the community is that they're led by people like you. They're led by you and they're for you. So we have patients, people who have experienced a dissection or are living life with aortic disease. They are leading these general meetings. And we have people who are caregivers to family members leading the caregiver meeting. And we have someone who lost a loved one to aortic disease that is leading the bereavement group. We have Canadians leading the Canadian group, and we're going to have a French speaking Canadian leading our French speaking group. I think that why we modeled that is because a lot of people had been to enough support group meetings led by physicians or nursing staff, and that's fine. That definitely serves a purpose. But when you ask the direct question of some of those leaders, like, what does it feel like to have an NG tube? Okay, that's a nasal gastric tube. It goes in your nose and down to your tummy. They can only tell you what they read in the textbook. Unless they've put one in themselves, they do not know what it feels like. But our peers did. And the more questions we started asking about expectations of recovery from surgery, and they're reading to us what it says in the book, and we're all sitting there thinking, it took me a lot longer. It actually took me shorter. It took me this. What we started to really recognize is that the patients kind of knew more about those types of questions. What you're not going to find in our support group meetings are people giving medical advice. That is a big no-no. We don't let it happen. We'll cut it off. But what we will share with you is our experiences and hope it resonates. We're here to validate your experience. We may make a suggestion on a way that you can help ace your healthcare journey, which is advocating for yourself and communicating and educating, and help you figure out ways to share what you're feeling with physicians. But we're not going to give you medical advice. So whether you're navigating recovery, holding space as a caregiver, or trying to find your way through grief and bereavement, there is a group that is perfect for you. So you're going to find people who truly understand you and a community that is literally walking beside you. And as we've mentioned before, we're really proud to extend that support across the borders. And we have the meetings available in Canada. We're hoping to extend that to Australia and New Zealand at some point. God, there's a lot to work out there with the time zone differences, but it's really a shared mission of healing and hope is what that kind of turns into. So you don't need to have the right words. You just need to show up. You don't even need to have any words. Sometimes we need to go to these meetings just to listen. And that's perfectly okay because it's going to change you. It's going to make a difference. Really, sometimes the most powerful message comes from the heart, and that's from me to you, that you are not alone. So if you want more information, remember you can very easily go to the top of our event page and there will be links. Just click on these words, caregiver, survivor, blah, 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 and it'll take you directly to the link to register. Okay, we are moving right along. All right, I got that thing out of my eye. It's a good day. It's been a great day. All right, here's another thing to talk about. Why aortic hope? Care packages. Care packages, you guys. There's been a lot of information in the month of September, a lot. Because obviously, as we say all the time, it's impossible to share everything with you about aortic disease in a day or in a week. So let's start off this on it's easy. We're going to have an easy conversation. If you or your loved one has recently, like within the last month or so, had emergency surgery or had scheduled surgery, or you have scheduled surgery coming up, and you would like an Aortic Hope care package, we have a form. It's also under I think it's under our programs or our resources page. And we send a care package out within 2 weeks of the receipt of this form. And we hope that this just brightens your day and makes you feel supported through your journey. And the packages can vary, but typically they tend to include items that we feel are a little lighthearted, but help you. And it's a nice introduction to the community. So you're definitely going to get a patient guide. It could be aortic dissection, the patient guide, or aortic disease, the patient guide, written by patients, clinically reviewed, and endorsed by the highest societies. You're going to get one of those. Okay. Probably have a little bit of lip balm, pill case. That's a keychain. Those are always come in handy in case you just want to run out the door and you don't want to have to take your big pill case with you. Ice or heat pack. Those are great. They're heart shaped. They're wonderful in the microwave or throwing them in the freezer. Depending on the time of year, you might get shredded socks. That's an added item. Always have a journal and a pen because we feel it's very important. If you can keep that with you, when you go to the doctor, it's a good place to share questions, to share side effects you're feeling from medication, to share blood pressure readings or heart rates, and then write down information that you're hearing. So there's so many different things that we've had in there: jar openers, stress balls, the list goes on and on. We just want to send hope, and we want people to feel supported today. So if that's something you're interested in, there is a link. Go ahead and click on that link under resources for care packages. You will see it there, and we would love to send you a care package. Okay. We are continuing to move on, you guys. So much in my brain. So before I get into this Think Aorta Thursday, I'm not even going to share with you the details. Suffice it to say, I think I made mention that I went to go see Masquerade in New York City on Friday night with Sean Nicole, who's part of the organization. She's also on the board of Think Aorta. She's a trooper because she couldn't tell you the first thing about Phantom of the Opera. I have seen it 15 times. And let me say, if I never see it on stage again, I'm so sorry. I don't think I'll be sad, because being in an immersive environment was life changing. I cried from the minute I walked into the minute I left. And I loved it all so much that I am waiting now to see when they announce that they've extended it. They've already extended it into February. When they extend it into March, I don't care how much the tickets are. I'm buying more tickets, and I'm going to go again because I cried too much. So I think I missed things from bawling my eyes out and like hiding my face and making sound and, big tear, ugly. It was ugly, but I had a mask on. So we did that Friday. To wake up on Saturday and know that we had the aortic bridge, a walk for aortic disease awareness. I was so excited. I was like jumping out of my skin for that too. So this is an annual walk that takes place by Aortic Bridge. Aortic Bridge is a grassroots nonprofit organization started by Dale and Donna Sakis, patients of Dr. Ben Udelman at a Maimonides Medical Center. And they came up with this while Dale was in the hospital bed many, 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 many years ago. And the idea was, what can we do to bring people together just for a little bit of awareness? This was created before Think Aorta. It was just that when Think Aorta came, it just was the most brilliant idea to merge the two. And then when we all became, Aortic Hope became part of it, we just merged the three as a big, huge event walking across the Brooklyn Bridge. Now, so you have to picture, this was the largest group ever. We had 200 people. Everybody, not everybody, because we ran out of shirts, but that's okay. That's a good thing, right? So 220 shirts gone. And somehow people didn't get a shirt. All right, green shirts. Green shirts this year. First time I've got them in all different colors. So this was great. And everybody's got a shirt on, and there's someone at the front holding a gigantic Think Aorta poster sign, someone in the back holding a gigantic Think Aorta, Think Family. And we all met together, and I met so many people that are part of the community. Oh my goodness, Shanna Pennington, Chef Rob came down with his wife from Michigan, and Molly came over with James from California, and Karen Bertozzi with her daughters came up from Florida, and John Brenny came down from where I don't remember where he is, but from the north. Tom No Wetner came down. Tom Mooney and his wife came. Jenny and Dave, they're all over Instagram sharing all of Think Aorta's messages. They came. That's how we met, on Instagram. Sean came up from Louisiana. I don't want to. Kel came into town. Um, I don't want to miss people. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm missing somebody. And if I'm trying to, if I missed you, I'm so sorry. But then there was all of Dr. Udelman, like tons of patients and medical staff. And it was just so great to see people's faces in front of you. Meryl Pierce, another one out of New York. I am missing one or two people, but oh, it was really fun. I met a gentleman who I don't remember his name, and I wouldn't share it anyway because he's having surgery today. And I thought he was somebody else. And when I talked to him, this was, God, it's moments like this that you just know that we deliver the support and the resources that are needed. And I said, hi, what's your name? And he told me his name, and he said, you're Karen Anderson. And I was like, yeah, no, I don't know if I know you. How do you know me? And he goes, well, I listen to you all the time. I watch your videos on YouTube. I love when you interview. He goes, I think you're hysterical. You're so funny and you make it so relatable. And I'm about to have surgery. And I don't really think that I'm supposed to feel scared because you've given me everything I need to know. And I read the book and I mean, I've been very emotional recently, but I literally could have just cried. And I told him, it's 100% always has been and always will be a group effort. There's no way I could do all of this on my own. It's an impossibility. So there's a lot of people in the scenes, not even behind the scenes. There's people behind the scenes, but most of these people you don't even realize, you interact with them every day, and they are patients too. And some days they struggle, but they're here to support you in whatever effort they make as a volunteer with this organization. We have over 40 volunteers and 9 board members. I mean, I remember the days when there was just 3 of us trying to come up with a quote. And here it is. We're doing this, and people, there's nothing funnier to me than when somebody comes up to me and rattles off my Instagram handle, whether it's my personal or professional, and it's a little weird, because then I do realize that they are watching some of the interesting stuff I post, but it's making an impact. And so if they're not scared, I'm not supposed to be really scared for my surgery, right? Because that would be not good, because then they would get really scared. So it was just so eye-opening. It was just so eye-opening. And it's what I needed, because when I parked the car to meet everybody at this meeting spot, I remember thinking, I'm about, let's say, realistically, 4 blocks away, and thought, I'm going to need an ambulance. I can't walk. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't catch my breath. Take 2 steps, I'd have to stop. My valve is pounding right here in my chest. And then when you get there and you see everybody, it's like it's such a beautiful experience. And I did not walk the bridge. There's no way I would. I couldn't even make it to the middle to get mango juice. There's a lot of mangoes in the middle. And I just said, I'm not doing it. You guys go. That's not going to be safe. And when you see the signs bouncing, as they're coming up the bridge, and we had people ask, Sean and I, what is this aorta, you know, aortic bridge? What is this that's on your shirt? And when we explained it, she was telling us about a family member who died of a rupture. And we're having this whole conversation. She wasn't part of the group, but now she understood the importance of making sure she's continuously monitored, and she knew other people, and you just run into people. And it's such a wonderful opportunity to spread that awareness, and they see the gravity and the nature and the volume of people, that they know that they've just witnessed something that was pretty special. So Sean and I literally could not even walk back down. I could not walk back down, even though it was going downhill. We took an Uber down and sat at the restaurant where we all met afterwards, and I just chowed down a gigantic salad, and then, oh my gosh, New York pizza is nothing better. I know people in Chicago, you're going to want to argue this, but look, I just love pizza, but I love eating food out of New York. So I just love it. So there's the pizza and the salad and the meatballs. This was at Ignazio's in what's called the Dumbo, down under, I don't remember what bridge, underpass. I don't remember I didn't know it was called this. Anyway, it's underneath the bridge. I'm literally eating and looking up at the Brooklyn Bridge. It was beautiful, right on the water, right across from Manhattan, and shoving meatballs, as many as I possibly could, in my mouth, talking to people, laughing for hours and hours and hours. It was just so beautiful. And then I had this heinous walk up a hill that looked like one out of San Francisco to get back to the car, but I did it. Um, so that experience, which leads me to the Think Aorta post. See, trying to get to the segue here. And last week on Thursday, it was Think Aorta Thursday. And we're going to be doing a little bit more of these, because it is so important for us as patients, and for the family members and the loved ones of us and our physicians, to think aorta and raise awareness about aortic disease, because this condition, it's often silent, it's often sudden, and it can be deadly. But with education and early detection and appropriate treatment, there's no reason that lives can't be saved. So it's just 2 simple words, 2 simple words. We don't have all these rules or lists or booklets, or it's 2 words. Think aorta. It's incredible how many lives have been saved by these two words. And we're in, I think now 15 countries have adopted this two-word campaign. Think aorta. It doesn't get any more simpler than that. All the other stuff that's in the red section about symptoms and what pain can feel like and risk factors and physical exam and diagnostic warnings, just think aorta. Just think about it. Give it a second, right? Aortic disease, it is life-threatening. It can be, especially when you don't know you have it, because it is kind of silent, and silent sometimes can be deadly. The aorta, as we have learned for the last 29 days, is the main artery that carries all this oxygenated rich blood from the heart. And when I mean the rest of the body, there's branches off of the arch that feed it to the head and the arms. Then you come down the aorta and you've got branches that feed it to your entire abdominal area. So we're talking your intestines and your gallbladder and your pancreas and your spleen and your stomach, and then you've got ones that feed it to your kidneys, and you've got liver, and then it literally branches down into the legs all the way down into your toes. It's important. It's important. So if you're going to have an issue with that, you could have a really big issue. And diseases like having an aortic dissection or having an aneurysm or having a genetic connective tissue disorder, they can cause the aorta to tear or to even rupture. And that's usually fatal. So aortic dissections, they are typically a surgical emergency, depending on where it's located. Okay. But it will usually need some type of immediate recognition, and there's going to be some form of intervention to prevent death. Timing is everything. It's everything. Symptoms can mimic a heart attack, and there's so many times that people are sent home, or they're given, but put on a monitor, and then D-dimer. All these tests are being done because people think they're having a heart attack, which is just wasting time from giving them a CT scan, or they think they're having a stroke. Why? Because sometimes you lose the ability to feel arms and legs because you've had lack of blood flow to the spine. I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen if you have a dissection. There could be other conditions that lead to misdiagnosis or delays. Every minute matters. It truly does. So the sooner that aortic disease can be suspected or diagnosed, the faster that life-saving action can be put in place. And it definitely can be genetic. More times than not, we're finding that it can be genetic. So it can be hereditary, like Marfan syndrome or Loeys-Dietz syndrome or Ehlers-Danlos, or just a familial thoracic aortic aneurysm. So if one person becomes diagnosed in your family, it is really critical that your family members might also need to have some kind of screening, making awareness critical for prevention and early treatment. And again, early detection, it's what's going to save lives. Imaging tests like CT scan, which is going to be your quickest, most optimal test in an emergency situation. An MRI is really fine for monitoring. Echocardiograms can also be done in an emergency situation. Not the best, but can be used. Won't see anything past a certain area in your chest, but it can spot aortic disease before a major event would happen, which is kind of what we want here. Routine monitoring and elective surgery, when necessary, can not only prevent a rupture or dissection, it can actually help them determine what issues you might have and give them further tools to help your disease, okay, whether it's medication or something else. Education improves outcomes, 100%. 100% education and awareness will improve your outcome. So to think aorta really means training both the medical professionals and the public to recognize these symptoms and these risk factors. That's why we talk about it. And there are no set symptoms because people can present, it's amazing, so differently. They can present with this ripping, tearing, or they can present just feeling, I feel a little off. I feel like I have some reflux. I feel like maybe I pulled a muscle, but it's not really painful. I'll take a Tylenol. It runs the gamut. So there is no one set rules that fits everybody. And that is the problem. It mimics so many different things. So more awareness leads to faster diagnosis, better management, and ultimately It's repeated right here, and ultimately faster diagnosis and better management. How you like that? That's clearly a typo. Support and advocacy. That matters just as much as these other things that we just talked about, because many patients, as we know, feel alone. They feel misunderstood. They might feel like they've been misdiagnosed or underdiagnosed due to the rarity and complexity of this disease. Raising awareness really helps to it's going to help to build community, to build support systems, to help increase ability for research funding, and to ultimately lead to better care and outcomes. And the bottom line is, Think Aorta is not just a slogan. It was never meant to be a slogan. It's a call to action. It's a mindset. So there's no amount of money that's going to change somebody's mindset. It just, whether you're a doctor, you're a patient, or a family member, understanding and recognizing aortic disease can literally mean the difference between life and death. So that's why we ask all of you to think aorta. And that was your Thursday. Okay, I'm still going, right? Just keep on going. Keep on trucking. Okay, you'll tell me if there's somebody I need to jump on to say hi to. I screwed up everybody's calendar. That's what happened. I have I did it. I did it now. I did it now. All right. Just so you know, right now, that's why nobody's here, Josh. You know why? Because they're all listening to Dr. Radio on repeat, on channel 110 on Sirius XM radio, because I was there bright and early, bushy tailed at 6 a.m. with Dr. Ben Udelman at Langone Medical Center, where he was on with, I can't say the guy's last name, so I'm not going to try. We're going to call him Dr. Greg, Dr. Greg R. They were on together. I'm not sure what they were talking about in the beginning. I was having a bagel. But then I was on with them from 7 to 8, and we talked all about aortic disease, aortic aneurysms, bicuspid valves, aortic dissection, shared a little bit about my story, a lot of bit about the organizations. We took some emails, we took some calls. It was very engaging. I mean, people are really up at 7 a.m. We had a couple people in the medical community, nurses that were calling in, one from Montana, someone from Florida. So I think they say sometimes they could, at the end of that session, they've shown to have about 350,000 people listen in to between 6 and 8. I don't know the stats on the 4 p.m. replay, but that is out there. I do have it recorded. I do. The sound was amazing, so I was able to get that, and it is going to be available. Hopefully, at some point when I figure out how to relay that information to my wizard here, Josh. So hopefully he'll get that pulled together, and you guys will be able to listen in on the show. They had me cracking up. I had to push the cough button so that I wouldn't be too loud laughing. Um, yeah, it was really a lot of fun. It was cool to have the pass, and it was cool to see it say Sirius XM Doctor Radio. I've been on it a few times, and I love it so much because I love the headsets, and I love hearing my voice because it's very close to the microphone. And I like sometimes pretend to cough just because I want to push a button, because it's just fun. So it was a lot of fun. So okay, getting into the whole mental health and everything, we wanted to talk to you a little bit about grounding techniques. And we've had a couple times a live event with our newest volunteer, Dee Riete. We've had to cancel. Dee has had some medical setbacks. So this is why. I know I've had people who have expressed an interest in wanting to learn some Wellness 101, some aromatherapy. I know, I do too. I do too. Everybody has things. So we're going to give some grace here in this situation. We will keep you posted when we're ready to reschedule that and start all these things that she wants to show the community and share with you guys. So things happen. It's all good. It will happen. But for right now, we're going to talk about grounding techniques. And really, these include utilizing your five senses. So from smell to sight, taste, touch, and sound. Um, it's going to help you have the biggest shift in learning how to live more relaxed and living a more stress-free life. I think sometimes it's harder than just saying, when you work out, use less weights. It's that simple. Just take some weights off. But when you tell somebody we want to find a way to live relaxed, it's like a foreign language. It just is, because we're all going at such a fast pace, and there's so much happening in the world around us. So when we can create the calm in our daily routines, we really build this reality that nourishes us instead of draining us, right? So the good news is relaxation, it is a practice. It's not something you have to, you know, figure it out how to do instantaneously. It's fun to actually work on it. It really is. And it can be the fun part is you have all the tools that you need. It's right there. It's right there. Sitting where you are as you listen to this, it's there. And we're going to go through it. So let's talk about scent. And she's going to get into this. So I'm not going to get too detailed. Look, aromatherapy oils have been around for thousands of years, you guys. It is part of integrative medicine. I know Johns Hopkins has an integrative department, so their physicians will send people for things like acupuncture or Reiki or acupressure, reflexology, and even aromatherapy. These are known. This is known. This is known Eastern medicine. So try a calming aromatherapy. Have you ever tried to just smell lavender or chamomile? I love the smell of spa. A spa utilizes all of these, including eucalyptus, which might be more re-energizing. But if you put it in a good combination with some of these other scents that are mentioned up above, like jasmine, it just has this profound effect. It does on me. I don't find it smelly at all. I find it amazing. Amazing. You take me anywhere and just find me the spa at the hotel and just let me inhale it. And I'm just like completely chill. I love it. Um, you can use your site, okay? Try to declutter to create a more peaceful environment around you. I know that I like controlled chaos, but there is something to be said to just coming back and things are just in their place a little bit. I'm not talking about like being all OCD and whatnot, but a room, an area of the house, even if you create your own little nook, right? And you make it more organized, it really could create this sense of calm. And you sometimes might want to surround yourself with nature. So I hate nature. I mean, I don't hate nature. I don't like bugs, and bugs live in nature. I don't like woods. I don't like plants like that. I love flowers, but I prefer my ultimate sight, field of vision, ultimate would be if I was in a pool where I see a palm tree, and just beyond that is the blue water. It doesn't to me get it doesn't get any better than that because I have all my favorite things. I'm in the pool, safe, right? No jellyfish, no sharks, no scary creatures. But I see my palm tree and I see my blue water on the beach. Like that's great. That makes me so play some spa music and smelly smells. I'm a happy person. We haven't even gotten to the sound yet. You start dinging some bells. Or add in an Indian flute, and I am like out. I am happy. Um, Even light a candle. That's another one you can do to kind of help shift the mood a little bit. All right, let's talk about taste. People don't really think about taste. They just think about how good something tastes, right? Sometimes when you slow down when you're eating and you just think, I'm going to eat this with purpose. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to just like marinate it in my mouth. Savor your meals. Eating slow is better for you anyway. Enjoy it. Slow down. Gosh, just take a minute and slow it down. Keep a regular rhythm when it comes to your meals to ease the digestion process and stay hydrated. Staying hydrated is going to be your friend and lean into more anti inflammatory foods. Sometimes that can really help with decreasing stress. Touch, self massage. You know, I don't like this doesn't do anything for me. I love a good foot rub. So it's called toe time in my house. And I will plop on the sofa and just show those feet right to my husband and say, I need some toe time. Now, again, you add that in with the, if I could have the beach and the pool and the palm tree and the sound and the smell, it's like, it doesn't get any better other than the Phantom of the Opera experience. It doesn't get any better. That's me. But you might want to try some restorative yoga or some Reiki, which we will be teaching you soon how what Reiki is all about and offering a private couple sessions to do this yourself and see if you can harness your own energy, right? To calm, to empower yourself, etc. And then of course we're getting to the sound, which I already mentioned. So one of the things would be soaking in, bathing in sound. And there's things called sound baths, believe it or not. And those are those crystal bowls that people will take the big crystal stick and go around and then they chant. That's called a sound bath because it just consumes you like a bath. And they are wonderful. But it can be a little hokey, I get it, but you just figure out what works for you. I do like nature sounds, doesn't make me think of bugs. Um, I do like the sound of surf, like the ocean. I'm not really big in the practicing affirmations, like looking in the mirror, which is suggested here, and saying I am enough. No, that's I would just be giggling. I like to listen to the sounds. I'm not big in talking to myself. But you know what? At the end of the day, living relaxed is a daily choice. You have to do all of this with intention, or you're just going to wake up and just go, 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 and then you just crash. So we were asking people in the community what sense they were going to focus on that day. I would have answered all of them because I love them all. So that was your grounding techniques. Okie dokie. We're moving right along to Survivor Series Saturday.
Well, let's
Yes.
say hi to Miss Kim McNicholas.
Hey,
She
Kim.
says she just had a celebration of life with a friend who also lost her mom with aortic dissection. It was a clot after the fact.
Ah, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
very sorry to hear
unfortunate.
that. Yeah, that is unfortunate.
Also, she shares that Dr. Todd Berland is amazing on Dr. Radio.
That was not who was on with me. I don't know who
Who
was
did you
on
get?
with Ben first. So I don't know.
Meh.
I get the normal, I get the regular, I want to say it was like Rebecca,
You were
something like
just
that.
there this morning.
It's a long last name, begins with an R. I have no, I've met him many times before. He typically does
Okay.
the it's usually the cardiology was always on like a Friday. The cardiology segments, they have different medical segments at these time slots. So this was a different segment and the doctor just was out on a medical leave. So PS Ben, I begged, can we get him before the very, very end of aortic disease month? And so we got in, which was all by chance. So yeah, that was that. So I'll have to look into that, doctor. But I had so much fun. Okay. All right. Anybody who's told their story before, all of you past storytellers, we need you. We want you. We want to know what's going on with you. We want you as part of our Where Are They Now campaign. We want an update on your journey. We've been doing this now. Where are they now? Probably for the last 7 or 8 years. So many people, when you get caught up in this and you're through your road of recovery, you just forget. You forget how important it is to tell people what you're doing now. We hear this as almost a number one complaint. It's probably number two from the American College of Emergency Physicians. This is actually their second complaint is that when they have the most emergent patients that come in, once they leave the ER, they don't ever know what happens to them. Me, I like to go back every single year and tell them how grateful I am for how well I was treated in the ER because I know they don't get to find out. So something for you guys to think about. Those of you that went through an ER, let them know what you're doing. But let us know. Let the community know what you're doing. I mean, you have to remember for the new people who have survived a dissection or are in watch and wait, they want to know. They want to know, like when you found out that you had an aneurysm, and if that was 7 years ago, how did you handle that? And what are you doing in your life now? Did you just wrap yourself in bubble wrap? They become just so inspired by your story. So let's tell everybody how far you've come. And if you're interested in being part of this special campaign, we can do this recorded, we can do it live. I mean, if you want to do a written story, it's fine, but I think live and recorded is really the way to go. Allow people to interact with you. Um, so we just want you to continue to uplift and aspire to inspire. And let's just do that together. So there is a sign up button there and also under programs if you'd like to be part of our Where Are They Now campaign. Okie dokie. All right. We're wrapping this last week up and we're talking about health trauma. Perfect, because as I mentioned tonight, we have Amy Wagner who's going live at 7 p.m. She is an LCSWC, specifically trained in health trauma. I mean, she does other type of therapy, but she is also specially certified in doing EMDR, which stands for eye movement and desensitization and reprocessing. and it is something that has scientifically been proven to work for PTSD. Insurance is known to pay for it. And I've done it myself, and I'm going to be doing it again very soon to get myself prepped mentally before I have my surgery. So we're going to talk about it. I'm actually going to be filming one of those sessions soon. So, but we're going to talk to her a little bit about that tonight. So what really is health trauma? And this can basically happen when medical experiences like something sudden happens, or you've gotten a sudden diagnosis, you've had this invasive procedure, or let's say you've even been dismissed. Your physician's been a little dismissive. It kind of leaves a little bit of a long-lasting emotional scar, right? People have trust issues, and it's more common than people actually realize. This actually, unfortunately, happens very, very often. And if Kim's still with us, I know that she knows what I'm talking about in her community, global PAD awareness. So she gets it. It can impact trust, it can impact your healing, and just your overall wellness altogether. But the good news is that healing is possible. Okay. Here's a couple ways that you can start that healing, and we're going to talk all about this later. So bring your questions. You want to be able to first acknowledge and name it. Acknowledge and name the fact that you have experienced health trauma. Recognize the experience as trauma. Okay, it's going to be the first step towards healing. And then the second would be seek some support. So therapists, support groups, connecting with others who have been through a similar experience as you really can help you feel a lot less alone. And talk about your story, express your story. You should probably be doing a little bit of journaling. You can do some art, tell your story through aortic hope or another means. It can really help you process those emotions that kind of make you feel stuck. And grounding, self-care. Well, we just talked about grounding, breathing techniques, mindfulness, gentle movement like yoga or tai chi, which we offer for, I mean, qigong, which we offer for free every Sunday at 12:30. Walking. We talk about walking, and we talk about our movement for movement. These are all easy, simple ways for you to calm the nervous system. Okay. Reclaim your voice. That you might need a little help with a therapist sometimes to do, but self-advocacy, which is part of how you ace your healthcare journey, advocating for yourself, communicating and educating your physicians in medical settings, um, by bringing questions, right? By bringing a support person to your appointment, by looking into second opinions. And I'm going to tell you a story about that in a minute. Your feelings are valid, okay? And healing from health trauma is a journey, it is not a destination, and you're not defined by what happened to you. Okay. You are defined by your resilience. And here's my story. All right. So, as I've mentioned, going to be having open heart surgery, going to be having my valve repaired, replaced. And, it's so easy. I am on the other side of the coin. It's so easy to tell people, oh, it's so good. You're in great position. It's planned. It's not emergency. Hoo-ha, blah. When you're the patient, none of that sounds good. None of it feels good. Nothing, nada, nada. So here comes my AC, my healthcare journey. I had a question for my surgeon. I've been told I'm having a pig valve. And I have been listening to physicians that I've interviewed for years talk about a very specific type of cow valve. I know I don't want mechanical, so that was out of the question. And so it just hit me now as I'm getting closer and I'm processing, why am I getting pig and I'm not being offered cow? And I sat with this for a very long time because I was scared to ask. Because I thought if I ask this question and he's not going to like me and he's not going to want to do surgery and he's going to think I'm being challenging, he's going to think I'm being a know it all, and he's going to think that I'm rude. This is all normal. This is why acing your healthcare journey, this whole concept was created, because this is not how we're supposed to be thinking. And I'm the most important person in this scenario when it comes to my healthcare journey. And so I sat back and I was just like, suck it up, Buttercup, and ask the question in a very respectful way. And with the assistance of my second best friend, ChatGPT, I came up with the right, nice way to easily ask the question because I was still scared of confrontation. And I basically, in so many words, was like, hey, we talked about a pig valve. Not sure if that's what you're 100% on percent set on, but I've interviewed enough physicians to know that they love this one particular company's cow valve. Is there a particular reason why you're thinking that pig is better for me based upon my profile, my annulus? That's where your valve sits into its size, which is slightly enlarged. I just sell me on the pig valve, just asking for you to tell me. And evidently, he's written me back today, or it was Friday, and it's not in my portfolio. It's not in my chart, and I can't find it. So the assistants are trying to get it to me because I'm dying to know the answer. But when I hit send, oh my gosh, I immediately wrote my cardiologist and I'm like, oh, I don't want anybody to be angry with me. She's like, absolutely not. This is the questions you should be asking. Doctors like it when we ask these questions. Doctors that are respectable that you want to work with should be happy when you ask these questions. Nobody should be angry at us for asking a question. I deserve a right to know what is being put into my body and why that is the preferred choice. And I still have the right to say no. I think if it's not life or death, I think I want a different option because I've done my own research and I feel more comfortable. The reality is if my surgeon, who I need to trust, tells me that he feels A is better than B, of course, I'm probably going to go with A. And I have to just tune out the noise of all the physicians that I'm friends with because they're not there looking at my scans. They're not there part of my care team. So I have to go with my care team, but I have a right to know and I have a right to be educated. They have to ace their journey too. They have to advocate why they want this. They have to communicate and educate me on why one over another. So yes, it was hard to do. And I haven't had to do something like that in a long time, but you can do it. And the rewards are huge. It is the only two-way street for success. And I truly feel there was no power struggle. It has been a power balance. And I actually told them I love this shared decision-making process. So that's one way to overcome health trauma is to be very upfront and have the evidently, quote, hard conversations because they're supposed to happen, but they don't have to be hard. That's my point. And that was your health trauma post for Aortic Disease Awareness Month. Okay, sure. Okay, so I'm curious to know as I talk about my points, my views on mechanical, why bovine over porcine, which is cow over pig, because I have done a lot of research on this, right? Um, and mechanical, no. If I have to listen to a tick tock, I will lose my I will lose my mind. I sleep as it is with earplugs, and I like to listen to the sound of nothing. And when I don't have earplugs, I hear everything in that silence, and it's just very challenging for me. And I have a fan on, two or three sometimes. I also didn't want to be on Coumadin. I didn't want to be on heavy blood thinners for the rest of my life. So and they considered me too young. Quite frankly, they didn't want me on it either. And everything I read, cow and pig have the exact same durability profile as far as longevity, 10 to 15 years. Um, I know one might have a higher chance of developing stenosis or tearing, or one of them has one and the one has another. So it's just like with anything else. They will have their potential for issues, but uh, that's with anything. So there is no hard, clear-cut data that says at this point that one is better than another. One is much easier to put in. The bovine is easier to put in. A specific valve from a specific company is easier to put in and means that there's less time for the patient to be on a heart-lung machine. But the statistics on outcomes are still we have more information on pig than we do on cow. I think pig's been around longer than cow. Cow's doing very well on its on its data, but there really is no data that's saying this should not be used and this should be used. So far from what I've heard. But yet all the doctors like using the cow. So yeah, fun times in my house. I'm a little confused. It's like a little bit confused. I don't know. I still have time. I still have time to do more research. But when you get the answer to why, please and thank you, prefers cow over pig, please let me know. A lot of stuff there. All right, you jump in. Until then, I'm moving on to another post about why aortic cope. Why? Why would you want aortic cope? With over more than 123,000 views and over 1,400 subscribers, AHTV YouTube, right here, it's more than just a channel. It's become a community. It really has. On AHTV, which I love saying this, on this YouTube channel, you know what you're going to find? You're going to find survivor stories, which we've talked about, that bring hope and inspiration. You're going to find expert insight from medical professionals who break down, complex topics that really empower you, all the way to attorneys that are taking you through the disability process or helping you with wills and estates. So there's a wide variety of people that are being interviewed. Wellness tools and tips to help you thrive in your daily life. You're going to find live and recorded events that help connect you with others who truly understand this journey. Every video, every event that we do is created with you in mind. That's the key. And whether you're a patient, you're a caregiver, an advocate, what have you, offering knowledge, encouragement, and a reminder that you're never alone on the path is what the key is to being part of AHTV. So we always start off and we always end by asking you, and I'm going to do it right now, to subscribe, to join, to like, to follow, to all the different things that you can do, and just follow us here on YouTube, because you're going to get, I think, more relatable, genuine information than you're going to get from reading words from a post. Those are important, but hearing tone and being able to interact, it's a whole other level. It's just a whole other level. And then when you add in community, whether you're watching Qigong or you're chopping and dicing away with Chef Rob in our aorta kitchen, or you're creating some ghoulish craft just in time for Halloween with our aortic artist, it's just bringing a sense of community to the table and taking your mind for a brief period of time off of aortic disease and showing you that, you know, life is what you make it. And so together, not only are we raising awareness, but we're building resilience and we spread hope. And we do that all the time through AHTV on our YouTube channel. So we're glad you're here. We want to see more of you. Tell friends and family. As I always say, share, because somebody is going to find something on this channel and in these presentations that resonate with them. Okay, we are almost done. So I've told you about being on Doctor Radio. I've told you that we did the bridge walk. I told you about being at Masquerade. Do you know what else I did? Not only did I went to the American Dream Mall and went into the largest indoor water park, I think, in the United States, and went into the wave pool, and I did a lazy river, and then I made Sean get on a water roller coaster, to which she said she will never trust me again. She thought she was going to die, and I loved every minute of it, but she was in the front seat. So, I wasn't going in the front seat. I got her to go in the front seat. But we also spent time at the Jersey Shore. Yes, I did. I love that show. No judgment. I've been watching Jersey Shore for 15 years, and all their offshoots like Jersey Shore Family Vacation, JWoww and Snooki. Yes, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, and they are like at their late 30s, early 40s, and I'm much older, and I don't care. I love every single one of them. And I went to the shore house, and it smells like you would imagine. Just think about it. A shore house that had a bunch of kids in their 20s drinking and Lord knows what else. And I walked in and like, yep, this smells exactly like I expected it. And all the same furniture that I saw on the show obviously are in there, because they rent this in season for like $2,500 a night. Yes, I said that right. It is full of wood paneling. The kitchen was beautiful. The bathrooms were gross. The furniture, gross. The beds, okay, if you watch the show, Mike, the Situation, Sorrentino's bed is still broken. So it is not on a frame. It is on the floor inside a wooden encasement. I mean, everything is exactly like you would see it. So it was kind of fun. I was excited to go. I went to the Shore store. I got something that said Jersey Shore. And then I did go to Nicole Palizzi, AKA Snooki's store. And I waved to her in her video camera because she wasn't there that day. She's always there. And I missed her on the day she was there. So yeah, I fangirl very easily. It doesn't take much. It's not a secret. Um, And so Sean and I, she loves the show too. So we just had a really, really nice time. It was beautiful weather. I love being down by the ocean and just walking a boardwalk. She doesn't know what a boardwalk. She knows what a boardwalk is now, which is just an area to walk with boards, right? With t-shirt shops and loud club music playing and hermit crabs and french fries and pizza and ice cream. And it was just amazing. It was wonderful. I packed in so much that I feel like I need to do nothing but live in pajamas for about 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm tired. All the while, Terry from our board, Terry Cook, was dressed as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. There are pictures to prove it. And she went to Vegas for a weekend to see The Wizard of Oz at the Sphere. So dreams came true all around for many, many, many people over the last couple of days. It was really awesome. But now we're just going to wrap this up and we're going to talk about events. So, yes, I know all these events are up here from September. It's because, you know what? Take a look at all this. Take a look at all this stuff. We're going to talk about this next week when we go into the last couple days of today and yesterday. This is a lot of stuff, you guys. Look at all this stuff that we packed in. Interviews and events and meetings and just so much stuff that took place. Illumination events. Oh my gosh, we didn't even mention that. We had 23 locations that lit up from East Coast to West Coast and North to South. That's going to be small compared to next year. And what we're really hoping next year is to get a lot of you involved that might want to travel to some of these locations close to you, take the pictures, get the videos. We're hoping to go on a whole press junket with enough time given for next year. And we're hoping we take this international. We are thinking Australia. We are thinking additional places in Canada. There's going to be more places across the US. So this is just overwhelming. That planning will begin in a couple months when I'm recovered from surgery. I will have my head buried in illumination ideas, proclamations, and all different kinds of things. It was just so exciting. Look, it's exciting to jump out of the car in the middle of the streets of Philly, right? Because you gotta have to do what you want to do and get back in the car really fast. But to turn corners and see buildings lit up, and to see what other people who volunteered with the organization for their first time jump out of their cars and like at 8 o'clock, 9:30 at night and take pictures of what was being lit up in their hometowns was it's been a great September, you guys. It's just been so good. Just so good. I mean, launching ASAP, right? Awareness saves aortas, period. That hashtag has started to really take off as well. So it's just, when I think about this month, I just cannot believe we did as much as we did and the differences we made and the increase in viewers and followers and participants and volunteers now. That just means a lot of really good, exciting things to come on the horizon. And I've got a couple more weeks to hang out here with you guys on Mondays before I'm going to take off for the rest of the year. So looking forward to that as well and having some fun conversations with all of you. I have October up. We're adding, we're, finalizing a lot of different things. I'm going to tell you, we do have our October Halloween bingo. We will get a registration form out very soon for that. That is going to be on the 30th. So you want to be in costume because you know what happens if you're wearing costume. You get something for free. So yeah. Hey, we recently threw up a post reminding all of you, complete the survey for the aortic disease, the patient guidebook. The month is up. If you complete the survey and you remain non-anonymous and you list your name and email, you will be entered to win a $30 gift certificate to our Hope Shop. Then you can get anything you want. You can choose what you want. All right, I think that's all I have. Did please and thank you right back about why they prefer cow over pig or how they even think they have a
They
preference.
did not. However, they
Okay.
did say
Yes.
living in pajamas for 2 weeks sounds so luxurious.
Right.
I second that.
Right.
Worn out is an
Yes.
understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this came after having a procedure on my shoulder, then having COVID. I mean, having to push back surgery. I was like, you know what? This is bucket list items. Like, I am not going to go into surgery without doing these things that just mean so much to me. And so in a way, I feel mentally like I'm ready to get this show under the road, and I will. Everything really starts in another week or two with pre-op testing and all kinds of things, and then I'm going to be like in a 7-day countdown. So it's going to be here before I know it. It's time to our next movement for movement, I'm going to be switching out my closet because I know when I come back from the surgery, the temperatures would have gone down about another 10 or 15 degrees. So we'll be averaging sweats, my type of clothing, my type of year. So I want to get it all done now. So I'm ready to go and make life easier for a lot of other people. And now I'm gonna go take a little nappy because I will be on live at 7 p.m. with Amy Wagner. And I hope you guys come and listen to this. It's always a really interesting presentation. I might have one eyeball open, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it with bells on. So for everybody that joined today, thank you so much. Don't forget to click like, click subscribe, click the bell, and share this, please. Especially click like. It makes me feel good. All right, talk to you soon. Take care.